Hey there, my name's Renee Prince, and I'm the director of Four Element School of Traditional Medicine. And we are clinical herbalists, but we're also traditional healers, and we try to put ourselves in nature as much as possible. When we've had school weekends or healing times, we work as traditional healers, and sometimes that's intense. And one of the things we talk about in school are concepts like going to water. That's a traditional thing that happens in every culture, to wash off. We have ceremonial bathing, we have things like that. And sometimes we get into conversations that go back to my heritage and roots and things that are not written down. And something just came up. We're at this place. I'm going to go ahead and switch this around we're at this beautiful place here that we come to all of the time. It's something that's very important to us. We use it to wash off. We use it to clean our hair, to pray, to come to dirt church, however you want to put it. This particular area very much is part of my heritage in that my family wasn't here, but they were here in this area. And one side of my family's been here since the 1600s, to give you an idea of how much I'm indebted to these waters and the communities that came before that. So the question was, I have one of our practitioners here with us. I'm just gonna be like, that's Sam, there you go. The question is, well, not the question, the conversations around, we've been here before, and I'm going to switch it right out there where that ridge line is of rocks that come across there. We sit out there, we let the water wash us, we talk to it, we listen to it. Across there into those roots. We've been sitting out there before where I've looked across and said, my Appalachia, like holler medicine heritage and Ozark medicine heritage, all the way back to Scotland, all the way back to what we would consider to be Viking heritage, that's all represented in what you're seeing right now. And all the knowledge that I know about traditional healing and clinical healing came from that. So we've been sitting out there in that line and across the way there that you can barely see. I don't think I can move it. Oh, I can, look. Across the way there in those roots. We've been sitting out there before. And I have said to Sam, we'll move it. I said to Sam, I said, hey, look over there. You can see, if you were what's called a root witch or a knot witch, that is signaling that you use trees and roots and knotted plants. You ask them for support, you ask them for things, for divination, you ask them for guidance, you ask them for medicine, and you have an affinity to that in your area. So if you were a root witch or a knot witch, you would look into that area. I'll show you this one that's like right across from us. You would look into that area, would be out here doing something spiritual, and you would see some of those tangles, and you would read them almost like scrying or dowsing with a pendulum. Sometimes we see people and things caught in there, and we're supposed to differentiate between whether or not that's a spirit of the animal, of the plant, or whether it's somebody who's been put into bondage, or whether it's somebody who is there watching us, or some of the tribes ladies that used to come here that were part of the First Nations area, and they're still there listening, helping, connecting with us in some way. So what happened is I decided to film this because Sam said something. We talk about a certain place over there. I don't know if I can get you guys to see it closer, but we talk about this certain place that's right in there. And then in there, when we're there, Sam's gonna help you see it.
Okay, so it is, my finger right there. There is a woman, you can see in there with her arms up, going into a tree, and goes down into the water to the tree line area.
Okay. So when we're doing that, I'm going to switch you back to when we're over there, when we're in that area, it's quite evident that she's like kind of hanging out with us and talking to us, and she knows we see her. And I mean, like, we're sitting there as normal people and we recognize it and we see it, and you can almost see her move, blink, change, breathe, move with the water. So when we come here, one, we try to address it, because how lonely would that be? If it's a spirit of the trees, these trees are a medicine that goes all the way back to our Gaelic time and past before written history. So we just try to be mindful of that. The rocks, everything's living, the rocks, the roots, the whatever. So in root magic, it is possible, if you go by that lineage, to bind somebody into the roots, to throw them into the river, to tangle them, to root them, to knot them. We don't practice that way, obviously. So what Sam said to me was, she was saying, hey, that woman over there, this is what I think. Now, we've come up here and talked so many times with her and about her, and she said to me that I feel like she really is bound there. Like Sam was just saying this to me, that she really is bound there. And my question back, which prompted me to record this, was, because we just don't have elders talking to us like this anymore, we're displaced. My question back was, why do you think that is? So these are the things that these are the prompts that I gave her. I said, do you think she was bound and put there? Do you think she went there every day to pray and to get partridge berry and to help? Because one of the things so Sam's a clinical herbalist as well. And so one of the things she said, she feels like her uterus is cold, like that part of her body's in the water. So I said, do you think she came to get the partridge berry that grows a certain way that's coming cascading down to the river to have help with that clinically? And that eventually she just either fell in and drowned or went there out of sorrow, or that was her place of comfort. Like I gave her a bunch of props to, like, what do we think is going on there? Because this place gives us so much. If it's possible for us to give back to the spirits and living creatures that are here, like if we could help her and help release her, we would. So I was asking Sam, what do you think it is?
The reason I think she's in bondage is because of the lower half. It looks like the lower half of a woman. Like you even got like the V with the line. And when the river floods, only that part of her is submerged and the water is cold. And so to me, it feels like her uterus is cold. She can't bear children. Her line can no longer be passed down. That's what I think when I saw it the last time we came here when it was flooded, and I noticed that.
So you guys know right now it's really low, so we could see more of her right now.
And the other thing too, the way that her arms are up, to me, it's like bondage. Like it's up and it's away from, like her head is down, and her back is sloped with a knot going to the lower half of her body.
That is so heavy.
And so I think she was knotted, she was trapped there.
Okay.
Like there's been a part of me that wants to make her a flower necklace to help her.
So my question is, because we're teaching them to be traditional healers as well, and Sam very much is a practitioner both clinically and as a traditional healer. So my question is, as we're trying to understand this, if we thought we didn't have good communication, what do we do about it? Like, was she put there by someone else, or was it the bondage of the situation, or was there a curse on the line to not go any farther? Was she, the fact that you think her arms are up and it's in the roots means that's knotted. That's like part of knot magic. Like, should we do something to release her? Should we just comfort her? Is that now her home? Like, what should we do about that? And so I'm asking her as a practitioner and as an opinion, as well as us just figuring it out as a family unit, because we stick together. Like, should we do something about it? Should we give offerings? Should we try to help that person in some way? So do you have you don't have to, but do you have an opinion about that at all?
I mean, I've thought about making, like, you know how you can make like little flower crowns? Like,
yeah.
I've thought of making one of those and putting it around her neck. I like yellow flowers to like
Uplift?
Yeah, uplift.
I mean,
also yellow is, to me, is like the gut and everything, and her knot is in the gut, like cold uterus and the knot in the gut, and so.
Yeah, I mean, that clearly is, it's never wrong to give. It's never wrong to love. It's never wrong to give. The things that I would teach them about that, like, that's a great idea, and we probably should do this. And so you guys know, I wasn't prepared to go in the water. I'm in jeans. See, I'm just in normal clothes and my shoes. I'm totally going in, because we should probably walk across and do something about it. But my questions, like if I was teaching you all, my questions I would have for her would be, what's the penance for that? In that, what if somebody put her in bondage there? Are we turning those eyes against us or like towards us? Or what if we're breaking into somebody's spell work? Because I don't know if you guys know it, but like in the hill, all the way down through like the Ozarks and the Smokies and in those hill lines, and then that tradition that goes back into other countries, we have brujas, we have like Mennonite Amish type witches, we have that like Germanic and Scottish line of what we'd say are witches. There's witch doctors, and the witch doctors are to doctor the things that bad witches did. And so would we be acting as a witch doctor, or would we just simply be honoring that person to give them joy and good positive energy and to keep that spirit going? or are we actually trying to break it and release it? And she doesn't have to have an answer. I just like to prompt everybody to start thinking about these, so the decisions are made when we're not all together for like safety and whatnot. So do you have an opinion about like whether or not she was put there and it was like a bondage thing, or like in that way? I know she looks bonded, but do you think she was purposely put there, or put there by her bloodline, or like was it just an act of contrition in a way? So that's the other thing too, you guys. If you don't understand, or you haven't heard this before, there's negative energies that aren't serving us that are placed upon us. And there's negative energies that we can brew. Like if we're sad all the time, a body of sadness can start walking around. And then there's like illnesses and things like that. So the idea that maybe her not getting pregnant or not having the bloodline could cause that pain so deep that she put herself in bondage. And so I don't expect Sam to know, but now I'm asking, yeah. Like, because are we turning something against us? And you guys, I'm going to show you again. You can see it from here, but I was trying really hard to get you guys to see like just all the roots that are in there and the places that we're talking about.
I mean, the
right
other
in
thing
there
too is that it's almost hidden. Like either if she was put there, it was hiding, or if something happened to her, she went into hiding to protect herself.
And so are we letting her know that she doesn't have to hide anymore? Or are we letting that negative energy be shifted into an uplifting energy? That we, just to help the whole environment be uplifted. What I will tell all of you here that are seeing this for the first time or hearing us, that it doesn't matter really in my head, because aren't we always trying to propagate positive energy, and that's expansive to the universe, that's expanding to our hearts, it's like growing more. And so it's a hard question to think about. I do know, I feel very deeply the trees, the shoreline. If there was a community that lived here before us, a First Nations community that lived on these banks, they're very evident. They come through, they talk to us, they tell us they don't, we don't want you here, or you're okay, or whatever the message is. So for right now, what do you think we want to do about it, if anything? Think about it before we do something?
I would think about it before we do something.
So for me, being a teacher and like talking to you guys about this, I think that was a wise decision. I think that she just made that decision. But I do think, since it comes up so much, that we do have to do something.
Yeah,
like
I feel like I should be doing something. If she is in bondage, I want to ease her, whatever is happening right there. Just give her comfort in whatever situation that is.
I do want to tell you something about Sam. I just started laughing because I could feel it in her, and she adjusted her languaging so perfectly. Sam and I in ceremony both hold a place that's a little bit of sword wielding, that we're a little bit aggressive, we're a little bit confrontational, and that we don't have fear. And we're always trying to chasten that with some kind of balance and harmony. And so basically what she was about to say was, we can't do nothing, we got to do something. But then chastened it with like a very harmonious way of dealing with it. Like, we want to yank her out if we thought that she was in bondage, like forget that and like go and get her. But that's not what we're here for. We're here to help something liberate itself. And so we have to stop stepping in. And so that was a very metered, adult, good practitioner answer. You did good. So I think it's important that we talk about these things and show you, because it's just lost knowledge that nobody speaks about. So the gist of it is, if you were, I'm going to switch you one more time. If you were a root worker or a not worker, this line here would be something that you came to and asked for help with, and it's very heritage and very ancient, and the tree line is just unbelievable. And if you were taught to see, you would see where people had been put in bondage or where those spirits were acting. And we have something that talks to us and speaks to us all the time in this area, and we just started having a conversation about it and with it, and I thought we should share it. So feel free to ask us questions or to comment on it. I'll post this on all of our social media things, and it's just something to bring attention to everything. Everything counts. Nothing's for nothing. If you think you see something, you saw something, it was there. Don't let someone tell you you're crazy. That for thousands and thousands of years, we've had these things come up and they've been acted upon the same way. And so from a clinical standpoint and a traditional standpoint, it's important to trust yourself and to know what's going on. And we both have had interaction with that set of roots. So again, this is Renee and Sam Four Elements School of Traditional Medicine. I'll go ahead and post this and put some taglines in it. Feel free to comment or ask questions or go to any of our other things to see what's what. And if you need any information about anything, or if you need help because you feel like you're in bondage or something's wrong, just give us a holler. Find one of us. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.